Here at E-FWD, we are blessed to have in our membership leaders and organisations that are making things happen at pace in the UK energy transition against what is still an uncertain political backdrop for those operating in UK energy as we lead up to the budget. I'm delighted to say Jordan Ferguson, CEO of Pier Solutions, is here with me today. Jordan, you've completed not one, but 2 M&A deals so far this year, and you're playing in energy storage as a space. What excites you about energy storage here in the UK at the moment?
I mean, it's one of the most fastest evolving markets in the UK, and I mean, we've seen it tenfold in the last year itself, and that's why one of the reasons we specifically focused our attention on this market, and we're putting a lot of effort and time into it with the resources that we have to try and establish ourselves as a main player in this field.
And how important is it for UK energy transition that energy storage scales quickly?
I mean, incredibly important. Just look at the fact that we've got the grid dependencies that are ever more challenging. We've got the EV charging stations that are consistently evolving. We've got the requirement on the grid that's pulling all our data centers that we need. So it's probably going to be one of the biggest markets for us in the next 5 to 10 years that we'll be focusing on.
And how big a role can the kind of modular solutions in engineering that your firm provides play in moving things forward faster?
So modularizing and containerizing things within that sort of solutions is key. You're looking for small footprints with big outputs, taking and leveraging our knowledge, experience and expertise from oil and gas and energy and transitioning that into the energy transition, supporting these clients, end users and integrators is kind of key part of what we do.
And hydrogen, which connects to this, is another space that you've started to play in.
Yeah.
What do you need in terms of enabling conditions set by government and others to drive hydrogen growth and adoption forward in UK energy?
So this is a difficult one because you get inconsistencies across the board with this. We've been involved in certain projects which have been delayed due to government regulations. It's not from the client's appetite or the willingness from the market to adopt it. It's the fact that the regulations take too long. So fortunately, personally, I've been involved in the hydrogen market now for about 5 years. I was the previous European director of H2Scan, which is a lead in the industry hydrogen sensing technology provider. At Pier Solutions, we have recently signed a global VAR agreement, so that enables us to sell that safety product to the market, and it enables us to bring that safety product to a wide range of clients, both in the process and safety, battery energy storage, and in the hydrogen refueling systems as well. So
that's a space, hydrogen, where you're seeing tangible investment and movement here in UK energy that's driving growth.
We're definitely starting to see it taking traction now. There's 1,286 global hydrogen projects in the market right now. I think only 50% of them are at feasibility and 30% of them funded. If that's rough figures, I think it might have improved now. So we're seeing an adoption, but the regulations are a little bit behind, and getting approvals for producing hydrogen on site is proving challenging for certain end users. So that is something that we need to address.
And when it comes to energy storage and hydrogen, the one being heavily dependent on massive infrastructure investment, and the other, I feel, is hacked away at by naysayers who say this will never scale, this will never work. You've directed your company's operations towards those growth markets. What message would you say, and do you say, to those who say this will never scale?
Well, it's not a case it will never scale. It's going to scale. We have to. If we're going to hit our sort of sustainability goals, our net zero goals that we're setting ourselves in as both companies, individuals, and as a country, we have to do it. Yeah, we're transitioning from traditional oil and gas and traditional hydrocarbon usage, but that's an evolving market. It's challenging across all the boards. Things don't happen as fast. If we solely focused our business in that space, we wouldn't have a company. And also attracting investment and both inward and outward investment is challenging as well.
And Pier Solutions has framed itself up as engineering the energy transition. Yeah. You've got a large team here in the UK. Mm-hmm. A lot of discussion centres around jobs and skills, and the availability of people who can put your plans into action. How much of a challenge are you finding recruiting the talent you need to drive things forward quickly?
It is one of the main challenges, and I think that everyone in our space would agree. We're fortunate to have a good network and a big network. We're constantly recruiting. We've recruited at least 20 new staff in the last year alone. We're constantly looking at evolving for our contractors pool as well, where we bring contractors in for specific projects. We want to keep continuity between that. But it is a challenge. Skill set, people coming from rates as well. Your rates aren't often the same that you can get for traditional oil and gas versus the new energy or clean energy or offshore wind, whatever you may call it. So that is a constant challenge, but we're doing everything we can to stay at the forefront of that.
And as I said in my introduction, what caught our eye in terms of what you've achieved in a relatively short space of time as Chief Executive is the speed of execution of your acquisitions. Tell us about why you completed those deals and what excites you about what they can deliver for your business going forward.
So we knew coming into this, when myself and the management team took over Pier, that we needed to make an acquisition quickly to basically put ourselves out there as a service provider. We were providing internal projects and we were doing service in some of those, but we weren't actually known as a service delivery. So that was why the acquisition was incredibly important. It was a company I was previously involved with, I ran before, so I knew the setup and it was easy for me to do that. And we're also setting off into our second acquisition as well. So we'll sort of formally engage with that in the next couple of weeks and we should have that closed off in the first quarter next year.
And operating in this market, as we now edge our way towards the next budget, are you feeling since the last election that some of the uncertainty that affects movement in energy has lifted and that you now have clarity from government on direction for future? What are you looking for?
I don't think there's ever going to be that clarity or not a bit of uncertainty. We just don't know. Obviously, it's good news to have GB Energy Services located in Aberdeen. That's a positivity for the market. But again, we've got to have policymakers, industry adopters, and the people who are delivering at the SME market all aligned with this, or it's a disjointed message. You go to different events, you read different articles, and you get a bit of disjointed information. Bringing the companies like us into the conversation will maybe give a realistic approach to it and actually realistic data and knowledge and insight. So I'm excited for it. I think there's a lot of challenges and we face challenges every day. We face challenges in every industry. We faced that all the way from the 70s in the oil and gas market, and we're still here now and we'll continue to face these challenges. But I think it's a collaborative approach. I think a lot of companies need to collaborate on these opportunities, work together, bring our knowledge, our insight and our technology as an aligned approach. And that's the only way we're going to overcome these things.
And you came to E-FWD's event on financing the energy transition in Edinburgh. What's been your experience collaborating and being part of the brand so far?
It's been really good. It's been fantastically engaging, and to be able to chance to come here and talk about our business as well is really fantastic, and hopefully a lot more to come in the future as well.
Absolutely. And if you're watching this on E-FWD's LinkedIn account, there's details beneath on how you can get involved and join Jordan and other future-facing energy leaders that are making things happen and moving things forward, still against a backdrop that provides too much uncertainty for those looking to make big long-term bets on UK energy as a market. Jordan, that was a great discussion. Thanks for taking the time to stop by here at E-FWD Studios, and I'll see you at the next event.
Thank you. Thanks, Owen.